The Ready for a Relationship podcast helps people just like you who find themselves single and alone in their later years get unstuck and break the pattern to move forward and build the loving relationship you expected to have at this point in your life. Discover how to build your relationship with confidence in a fun, easy, loving way so that you are the right person for your right person. And if you enjoy the show and want to share some love, subscribe, rate, review, leave a comment. It all really helps. Here's Suzanne, the host of your show.
Great day, everyone. I'm Suzanne. Welcome to another easy, fun, loving podcast. For those that are divorced or have ended a bad relationship and you're on your own, but you're really looking for someone else again, we just want to help and support you through all the different aspects of your journey. And today I have a pleasure to have our guest Sonya Berg with us. She's here for the second time, and she's a financial educator and a living benefits expert. And you know, part of being alone is needing to look at financial things sometimes. Life insurance, how are you set up for later years? How are you set up for now? And it's something really, really important that we need to cover. So Sonya, thank you for joining me.
You're welcome. I'm so happy to be here. And this is a topic that's very, very close to my heart. So I'm really happy to be here to share this information.
Wonderful. So the specific topic we're going to cover today, I'm going to let you talk. Just start talking about it, and I'll ask questions as needed. Okay.
All right. That sounds good. So last time we were talking about the new kind of life insurance versus the old kind. So a lot of people have the old kind where, you know, you have a death benefit, and when you die, you do have benefits that go to your family. And so you're protecting your family. But there's this new kind that I like to call love insurance, because you're protecting.
I love that name.
Yes.
Love insurance. Okay. Who are we protecting?
Yes. You're protecting yourself so that especially if you're single and you don't have someone to support you, if something happens, like if you have a critical or chronic or a critical illness, a terminal illness. So when that happens, you might have life insurance, but you also need money for medical bills and deductibles and copays. So this is taking care of yourself, because you know that if something happens, then you're going to have the financial, you won't have a financial burden on yourself or your family if one of these lifetime events would happen to you, which we hope doesn't happen. We don't want to have that happen, but if it does, then you're protected. And
well, that's what insurance is all about, right?
Right.
It's so you can sleep better at night.
Exactly. Swan insurance. Yes. Yeah. So so what it does is it replaces your income, and because that's where if you have health insurance, you might not think you need this, but if you get sick, then you may not be able to work as much, or you may not be able to work at all. And it also would cover an experimental treatment, say, something that maybe your health insurance wouldn't cover. And could I share a story about that with you right now?
I would love that. Thank you. I love stories.
Okay. Yeah. So this one is about a mother, and she has 2 young daughters, and her parents died early, and the husband is no longer around to help. She doesn't even know where he is, and she's going through cancer treatments, and her doctor comes in to talk to her one day, and he said, "This is the worst day of my life, because I need to tell you, you need to get your affairs in order, because there's nothing else that I can do for you." And she was like, but what about that experimental treatment? I saw it on 60 Minutes. And, can't we do that? And so he said, yeah, but it's pretty expensive. I don't remember the exact amount, but he said, do you have $100,000 for that? Because insurance isn't going to cover it. And she said, no, I don't have that. And so she's like, what am I going to do? Okay, I'm going to call my life insurance person on the way home. So she called him and said, this is happening. I got to make sure that I need to get my affairs in order for my daughters. And so he said, no, wait, you have living benefits. We can do a claim and you can get that $100,000 that you need for that experimental treatment. And so, wonderfully, she was able to get the experimental treatment. And this was about 15 or 20 years ago. So the happy story is that her daughter just got married a few years ago, and she was there to be with them then and through all the years that they needed her. So, wow, what?
Oh my goodness, Sonya. What a heartbreaking story.
It has a beautiful ending.
It does, thank goodness.
Yes. So that's why that living benefits is so close to my heart, because like how many people can we help with this? And the really sad thing that's happening right now is that 60% of bankruptcies that happen in the United States are a direct result of critical illness and the medical expenses that follow. So, when you get ill, your income and expenses your income is above your expenses, but your income drops off and your expenses go up. And so the debt piles up. And if you're not able to work, it just keeps getting worse. And so, that's why it's just wonderful to have this, this benefit that you can use if you need it, and hopefully you would, we don't want that to happen to anybody, but it's there to protect us. And it's, and it if you don't use it, then you still have that death benefit. And so what's happening in the United States is people are having these illnesses. And I'd like to share another story with you.
Please do.
Okay. So, my nephew, came to me a couple of weeks ago, and he said, his 28-year-old friend has pancreatic cancer and it's stage 4. So he said, is there anything that we can do to help him? And, he said his friend has been very fortunate. He, through all this, if, there's the upside of it is that someone did a GoFundMe for him, and he, was able to receive a lot of, funds from friends and family, for that. And then he has great support from family, from friends. And so, but the thing is that the expenses keep coming in. And so I was just like, oh, you never imagined that would happen to somebody so young. And so that's why it's just the sooner we can have this in place, the better off we're going to be, because you never know when this is going to happen, when something is going to happen. And so, what I want to share with you a little bit of what this covers. It covers terminal illness, like if you only have 1 or 2 years to live. And then the critical illness, like I've just talked about, the cancer, heart attack, stroke, and many more similar to that. And it also has, if you're in an accident and have a critical injury, you have coma or burns or brain injury, paralysis, some of those things. And then the other thing that it covers is chronic illness. So that's another thing that's very important for us to look at if we're over 50 years old, because that's when, we say, do we need long care insurance? Do we have it? And so, long-term care insurance makes sure that you're cared for if you need home or nursing care. And so this isn't long-term care insurance, but it has one of these benefits on it that is for chronic illness. And what that is when you're unable to perform 2 of the 6 activities of daily living. And so that's similar to when you would need long-term care insurance. And so, this has that in there also. And, I would like to compare it to long-term care insurance, because that's like auto insurance, like very important to have. And, auto insurance, it's so good to have when we need it, and we hope we don't need it. But if we don't use it, then the funds that we used are gone. And that's the same way long-term care insurance is.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I just have to say, I definitely, I felt for those stories, right?
Yes.
And that's what insurance is all about. And especially if we're going to be on our own,
Yes.
we may be looking for a partner, right? That's what this podcast, that's what my business is all about, is finding a special relationship. However, there are those times, there may be this moment right now in time where you're on your own and you think, I want to be able to support myself.
Yes.
I want to not have to count on anyone else. And this is a form of taking our power back, because in the end, you want to be with someone because you choose, not because you have to be.
Right. Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So I have a question here. If you're over 50 and you do not have this type of living benefits life insurance yet, is it hard to get?
No, it costs more the older you are. And so the younger you get it, the better off you are. So, but it is, if you don't have any of the, if you don't have any pre-existing conditions, like, my nephew's friend, then he's not able to get insurance now. And the great thing is that it comes with no additional costs. Basically, to have these benefits added on is the same cost you would pay for the death only, the old kind of insurance.
Wow. And to be able to actually use it if you need it while you're alive.
While you're alive. Yes. Yeah.
That's worth it.
Yes. And I haven't even mentioned one more thing. So
okay.
Say you're putting all this money in there and you don't need it for living benefits. And then comes time when you want to supplement your income that you may have saved in a 401k or if you get any Social Security, and you can take this and use it for retirement income also. So it has one more benefit, all these nice benefit bubbles that come from this love insurance.
Okay. That's fantastic. Is there anything else we should know about that?
Well, I could tell you a lot more about that, but I think maybe that would be a conversation for another day to dig a little bit deeper into how you can use it for retirement.
Great. Sonya, I really appreciate you joining me for this. I just want all our listeners to know this isn't a paid for thing. I don't get anything from this. My heart is where I want to make sure everybody feels comfortable, everybody feels taken care of, that you know you're not alone. And if there's this period of time where you don't have the support of another individual, you need to be able to feel good and confident supporting yourself and doing what you need to do. So this is why we cover this kind of stuff, folks, again, I just want you feeling good where you are as you have a look around at the possibilities of another relationship.
Yes. Oh, that's so wonderful. And the more we know about what we can do to prevent things that we don't want to happen in the future, the better off we are. So thank you for letting me join you today, Suzanne. It's been a pleasure as always.
Awesome. Thank you, Sonya. I do really appreciate it. For all of our listeners, we're going to put Sonya's information under this podcast. So definitely you'll find it on our website and you'll find it on YouTube. And then please, if you have any questions, contact Sonya. For those of us now, so this also works mostly for those living in the US. That's Sonya's area of specialty in her training. For those in Canada, if there are any listeners who know of anything else that's applicable, like-minded, please let us know, and I'd be happy to hear more about that so we can support our Canadian listeners as well. But any questions, please send them to Sonya so she can help you make sure that you are set up financially and you're confident that everything you need is taken care of. So just to let you all know, you can go to our website, readyforarelationship.com. And you can find all kinds of support and information as you're looking for that special someone. We have other podcasts, we have blogs, we have a masterclass for you to have a look at. So go ahead, let us know questions, let us know how we can support you. And again, Sonya, thank you so much for joining us and giving us that valuable information.
You're welcome. Thank you, Suzanne.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Here we are at the end of the podcast, and you just got some Suzanne loving. If you got value out of this podcast and you want to spread some love too, subscribe, rate, review, leave a comment. And who was it that you were thinking about who could also be uplifted by it? Share it with them now. Catch you next time.